Hey guys, welcome to Allie's Goodies. My name is Allie and today we'll be making some macarons. So you just need a few ingredients for this recipe. First off, you need some almond flour. I personally like the blue diamond because it's finely sifted. You need some powdered sugar, some granulated sugar, and some egg white, as well as a scale because this recipe does measure in grams. You also need some food coloring. I personally like the sugar art because it's powder and it works really great with egg white, and today we'll be using violet. And then you also need something to mix your egg white to sieve peak, so I use a KitchenAid. And then you also need 2 bowls to separate your ingredients. The first bowl will be your egg white and your granulated sugar, and then the second will be your dry ingredients, which will be the almond flour and powdered sugar. So if you guys would like to see how I make my macarons, please continue to watch. And at the end, I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel as well as thumbs up this video. And if you guys want to see more of my work, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Allie's Goodies. And I will also link my recipe down below in the description box, as well as some of the utensils that I use. And so if you guys have any further questions, please comment below and I will get back to you guys. Thank you.
First off, you'll need to set your scale to 0. Once you place your bowl into the scale, reset the scale to 0 again. Now I'm going to separate the egg white from the egg yolk. I do not use egg yolk for my macaron shells, but I like to save it to make it curd later or simply cook it to eat instead of wasting it, which is why I'm putting it in a separate bowl. This recipe does call for 70 grams of egg white, and so try to get to 70 grams. If you do go past the 70 grams, you can use the eggshell to scoop some out like I am doing right now to get to 70 grams. I like to start at a slow speed with my KitchenAid mixer because this allows the air bubbles created to have a more stable structure, as well as give me time to measure my granulated sugar. While my egg white is being whisked, I'm going to measure my granulated sugar. It is the same process with a scale. I'm going to zero it out first, then place on bowl, and then zero it out again. I want 70 grams of sugar, so I'm going to slowly add that into my bowl. Once I get 70 grams, I'm going to go back to check my egg white to see if it has foamed up, because that means it's ready for the sugar. At this point, this is how your egg white should look like, foamy, and this is when you know it's ready to add your sugar in. You want to slowly pour your sugar a tablespoon at a time while the eggs are being whisked. I like to add the sugar slowly because it dissolves faster and also provides the stability for the meringue as well. I also like to increase the mixer speed by a tad in this step. So after a few minutes, your meringue should start looking like this. Continue adding the sugar into the meringue slowly. So after incorporating the sugar into my egg white, I'm going to come and measure my almond flour and powdered sugar. After setting the scale to 0, I'm going to slowly add the almond flour into my bowl. So I had mentioned earlier that the brand I use is already finely sifted, so I do not sift my almond flour. However, if you want to, you can. And for this recipe, it does call for 92 grams of almond flour. I am going to use the same bowl for my powdered sugar, so I am going to just zero out this scale again. Again, with the powdered sugar, you can sift it if you like, but I don't usually sift mine and it works great. This recipe does call for 84 grams of powdered sugar, so I am going to slowly add it into my bowl. So after I had measured both the almond flour and the powdered sugar, I like to use a whisk to mix them together just so they are mixed well together before being added into the meringue. The whisk also helps break any unwanted or missed clumps. When the meringue is at the soft peak stage, go ahead and add in gel or powdered food coloring. I'm using the Sugar Art Elite color in the violet color. I will list everything I use in the description box below. So at this point, you can increase the speed to medium-high. I am doing this to make sure I got all the side and bottom meringue that did not get mixed in well with the rest of the meringue. Okay, so now you want to continue to whisk your meringue until you get that stiff peak. So I went ahead and took the bowl out so I can check what the meringue peak looked like. The meringues still have a soft peak, so I'm going to pop them back onto the mixer for a few minutes. You do want to continuously check your peak because you don't want to over whip your meringue because it can make the macarons hollow with spread feet. So it's been a few minutes and I'm just going to check how my meringue looks like. And this is how a stiff peak should look like. The meringue should stand vertically without drooping, and it's ready. So I just like to scrape off the excess meringue on the side of the bowl before I pour in my dry ingredients. So now that the meringue is ready, I'm going to pour the almond flour and the powdered sugar into the meringue bowl. If you didn't sift your almond flour or powdered sugar earlier, you can do it at this time before mixing it into the meringue. Again, you don't have to sift your dry ingredients if you don't want to. My macarons always come out great without sifting. Now that I have poured my dry ingredients to the meringue, I'm just going to use my spatula to mix them together before starting the folding process. Now that the meringue and dry ingredients are mixed together, I'm going to start folding my batter with my rubber spatula. Gently fold until the batter is lava-like consistency. Continue to check your batter because you don't want to overmix your batter. So once the batter is ready, it's ready to be piped. I like to hold my piping bag in one of my hands and use the other hand to scoop the batter into the bag. I have used mini silicone mat for my macarons, but Teflon sheet has been the best yet. However, it's a blank sheet, so I do have to eyeball how much to pipe for each macarons. So I like to tap my pan down a few times to release any air bubbles inside the macarons. Okay, and then I let my macaron rest for about 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, I usually touch the side of my macarons to see if they form a skin yet. Once they form a skin and don't stick onto my finger, it's ready to bake. Pop them into the oven for about 14 to 15 minutes at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I like to use the oven thermometer because it allows me to measure the exact internal temperature of my oven. And this is the final result. After cooling off for about 15 minutes, it should be ready to be removed from the Teflon sheet. So I already matched out the macarons in pair. I'm just laying each macaron out to get them ready to be filled with some vanilla buttercream I made earlier. I am using the Ateco 869 French Star size 9 tip to pipe my buttercream. I absolutely love how big the tip is and the shape it makes with my buttercream. I am just going to cut one so you guys can see how the inside looks like. To get the best texture, store the macaron in an airtight container and let them mature in the fridge for 2 to 3 days.
Thank you for watching our macaron videos. This is the final product. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel to follow with our newest videos coming up. And please comment down below if you guys have any suggestions for our next video or any questions that you guys have pertaining to this video. And that is all for our video. I hope you guys enjoy.